In Sahih al-Bukhari, Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, even in dua, is teaching us that, to aim for what's highest. He said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, إِذَا سَأَلْتُمُ اللَّهَ الْجَنَّةِ فَاسْأَلُوهُ الْفِرْدَوْسَ الْأَعْلَى. If you ask Allah Azza wa Jal for al-Jannah, ask Him for al-Firdaus al-A'la, which is the highest level. No one asked to be in the lowest level. No one asked to be, Ya Allah, make me that guy in the hadith who's the last one to come out of the hellfire and go to Jannah. Everyone, you ask for the highest. Then the Prophet ﷺ describes, he says, because it's the highest level of Al-Jannah and it's the middle of Al-Jannah. So the scholar said, how can it be the highest and the middle? And they described that Al-Jannah, it's all the Jinan, they're curved like this, like a semicircle. So the middle of the semicircle will also be the highest point. So they said it is, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said it is the highest of Al-Jannah and it's also the middle of Al-Jannah, and its ceiling is Arsh al-Rahman, the throne of Ar-Rahman, and from it all the rivers of Al-Jannah flow. So he's saying, even when you're putting your hands up and asking Allah Azza wa Jal, aim high, ask for the highest level. So aiming high in the dua. We also see this in the Quran. The dua, وَجْعَلْنِي لِلْمُتَّقِينَ إِمَامًا. Not وَجْعَلْنِي مِنَ الْمُتَّقِينَ, don't make me from the righteous, but make me from the leaders of the righteous. Make me an imam for the righteous, a role model for the righteous. Umar ibn Abdul Aziz, radiallahu anhu, and he's considered the number 5 of the rightly guided khulafa, even though he was about number 13 in order or so, but they consider him the 5th rightly guided khilafah. He says, إِنَّ لِي نَفْسًا تَوَّاقًا. He says, my nafs, my soul or myself is very ambitious and is always aspiring and aiming high. He said, تَاقَتْ إِلَى الْإِمَارَةِ فَنَالَتْهَا. I desired al-imara to be because he became governor before he was the Khalifa. And he wanted to become governor, he didn't want to become Khalifa. But he's saying, when I wanted leadership, I got it. And then when I wanted al-Khilafah, I got it as well. He says now look at how he's aiming higher and higher. What is higher than the highest office in the land at this point? He says, now my nafs is desiring al-Jannah. وَأَرْجُو بِإِذْنِ اللَّهِ تَعَالَى أَنْ أَنَالَهَا. And I hope, with the permission of Allah Azza wa Jal, that I will attain that. Another example of aiming high is the famous and well-known story of Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhuma, who says that he had a boy who was one of his friends when they were young boys, and I told him, let's go and sit and study and learn the knowledge of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The other young man belittled that. He said, who's going to look at you? We have Abu Bakr, we have Umar, we have Uthman, all these companions are alive. Who's going to care about you and what you learn? And then when years passed, Ibn Abbas was a scholar, even a scholar amongst the companions and amongst the older companions. And the difference between him and the other young man is that Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhuma, he aimed high. He had aspirations. Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu, he used to say, إِنِّي لَأَكْرَهُ أَنْ أَرَى الرَّجُلَ سَبَهْلَلَ. He says, I dislike, I hate seeing a man who's just sabahlal, يعني not achieving anything in his deen, neither in his deen nor in his dunya. Yes, content with whatever low-level thing it is that he's doing. Umar used to say, I hate seeing someone like that. He's not working hard for his deen, not working hard for his dunya. And one of the most important things we can do is aim high for our children. Aim high for our children. And when they aim high for themselves, don't tear them down. Many times we're experts at telling each other why we won't succeed at doing something. And anyone in the world can tell you why something won't work, why a business idea won't work. But few people are smart enough to tell you how to make it work. So don't be one of those who put people down when they have a brilliant idea or they have some kind of high aspirations, as we saw in the story of Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhuma. The other thing is, you can also guide them to aim high. And this is the example, and it's an excellent example. The example of Imam Malik rahimahullah. When he was a young boy, he had no interest in knowledge, and he wanted to become a singer. And what do you do if you're a singer? You spend your time singing and writing lyrics and writing instruments and hanging out with singers. And she wanted to give him something better to aim for. But there's some very brilliant things she did here. The first thing is, she didn't try to critique what he's doing. Because, as psychologists explain, actions are linked to goals. All right? So if someone his goal is to become a soccer player, then what would his actions be? Watching soccer, playing soccer, talking about soccer, everything soccer. His actions are linked to his goals. So you can't nag him, stop watching soccer, stop playing soccer, stop looking at soccer. You can't tell him that, because his actions won't change. The only way to get him to stop, if that were the case, it would be to change his goals. Because actions are linked to goals. If you change his goals, then his goals would now change, or his actions would change to those that match that goal. So his mother didn't nag him, stop singing, stop writing, stop hanging with these people, stop playing an instrument. She made him wish to become a scholar. And she did something else that was very intelligent. She dressed him up like a young scholar. Just like we do today with our children. We buy them that whole kit that has the doctor's thing, that has the stethoscope and needles and syringes and the blood pressure machine, and they go around the house taking people's blood pressure. Or we buy them this kit that has handcuffs and a gun and a club, and they go around clubbing people. We make them love certain professions. She made him dress up like a scholar. She made him love the idea of studying his religion. And now we're talking about him hundreds of years or 1,200 years later, because he became Imam Malik. Had he become a singer, nobody would know his name right now in this room. So the idea is also you can help readjust your child's aims, or your sibling, or whoever it is. Adjust it to have a better aim or higher aim than whatever it is they have at the moment.